who would have guessed that the Warriors, following a 2019 Finals appearance, would hit rock bottom the next season, holding the worst record in the entire NBA? I definitely couldn't have. Truth be told, however, the downfall of the Warriors evolved from a series of unfortunate injuries and the infamous departure of Kevin Durant. It started in the 2019 Finals when KD, who had just returned from an injury, ruptured his Achilles in Game 5 after an attempt at a crossover. It was almost as if this injury was the tipping piece to a domino effect of injuries and unfortunate circumstances. The following game, Klay Thompson tore his ACL and the Warriors' quest for a three-peat was denied by the newly crowned Toronto Raptors. After an underwhelming postseason by Warriors standards, superstar Kevin Durant hit the free agency in 2019, but the Warriors made the best out of this situation in a sign and trade with the Nets. They did right by Durant, giving him what he deserved monetarily, while also allowing him to rehab and take his talents elsewhere. The Warriors shipped off Durant to the Nets and in return secured their future, acquiring D'Angelo Russell, who later during the season would be traded to the Timberwolves for Wiggins and the 2021 first and second round pick. Then, in October, the last domino was knocked over when Steph Curry went down with a broken hand, which would keep him out for close to the rest of the season. This left the Warriors with a starting lineup that looked sort of like this. Safe to say, it makes sense as to why the Warriors are currently boasting the worst record in the entire NBA. Still, after the completion of this horrible season, the Warriors will be right back in the contender mix, considering they get Curry and Klay back healthy and a top 5 pick in the 2020 draft. But, unlike the last couple of years, the Warriors won't be a finals lock with new super teams formed in the West, like the Clippers and the Lakers, and their loss of Kevin Durant. To become a finals lock and return to their previous dynasty form, the Warriors and Bob Myers would have to address a couple of glaring weaknesses in the team. These include their bench scoring, depth, defensive length on the wings, a stretch 5, or a true rim protector. They also have to remain financially prudent, however, and make sure they don't compromise their future just to win now. To find this balance, there are 3 trades that I've come up with and can fill their needs while also having the other team benefit. But before we get into the trades, if you're new here and like myself enjoy NBA basketball, I would greatly appreciate if you could hit the red subscribe button below the video. I post weekly videos covering everything NBA and hope you can enjoy my journey creating content here on YouTube. But enough of that, let's talk the Warriors. First, we need to get a certain rumor out of the way. That rumor is the Giannis to the Warriors narrative. This idea that Rachel Nichols and The Jump brought to mainstream media made some people really think Wiggins, Draymond, and a couple of firsts would be enough for an MVP like Giannis.
The choice ahead for him, Nick, it's ironic that you're here because the one team lurking out there that I don't know how this would happen, but the one team.
It can happen, baby. They got the money to make it happen.
The Warriors have always been the big threat to go after Giannis. One, he's friends with Steph Curry. He has that same agency. They know each other. It would be a difficult construction to make happen, but that is the one looming threat.
The truth about this situation is, when you have a superstar like Giannis, instead of exploring trade offers, the Bucks would much rather spend their time trying to convince the Greek Freak to stay in Milwaukee. This situation is similar to when LeBron left the Heat. During his last year with the Heat, the front office weren't even thinking of trading LeBron in the last year of his contract. They were trying to find ways to make him stay. The same goes for Kevin Durant on OKC, and the same will happen with the Bucks. The Bucks will never explore trades for Giannis unless he explicitly says he wants to get traded. To further drive this point across, imagine the backlash the Bucks will receive from their own fan base if they explore trades for Giannis while there's a possibility he might stay in Milwaukee. So the Warriors trading for Giannis is completely out of the question, and there's no way the Warriors in 2021 will have enough cap space to acquire Giannis through the free agency, considering they have 4 max contracts to fulfill. With that out of the way, the first trade that will address their defensive woes while adding an above-the-rim finisher would be a pick swap with the New York Knicks. Assuming the Warriors get a top 3 pick, trading back a couple picks similar to what the Hawks did would be a smart move here. The Knicks would send Elfrid Payton, a capable backup point guard, Reggie Bullock, a solid 3&D player, and their first-round draft pick. Due to the Warriors needing more length, instead of another ball-dominant guard, they won't be interested in either LaMelo or Anthony Edwards. Instead, they would much rather go back a few picks and take a rim protector in James Wiseman or Obi Toppin. Wiseman would add much needed rim protection and size to the lineup, as well as provide high percentage finishing around the rim. On the other hand, if Wiseman isn't available, they will gladly take Obi Toppin, who many could argue is the most polished prospect in the draft. He's an elite finisher at power forward, and unlike Wiseman, could allow Steve Kerr to spread the floor in offense. Toppin would also fit the small ball lineup that Kerr likes to run with Draymond at center. Either prospect, alongside Reggie and Payton, would be solid pieces in the Warriors' quest to another championship. Looking at the Knicks side as well, they just need the best player in the draft to give them some hope, so swapping picks will give them a real shot at either LaMelo or Anthony Edwards. The second trade we have, in the off chance that the Warriors pick slides past the top 3, is Dennis Schroeder and the first round pick from the Denver Nuggets for the Warriors' first round and second round pick. This trade works out well for both sides, as the Warriors obtain a high-level backup point guard, while the Thunder add to their collection of picks and can add even more young talent alongside Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. With Schroeder's contract expiring after the next season, the Thunder will get good value for him and not lose him to the free agency for no value. Schroeder has averaged 19 points and 4 assists off the bench with OKC and will have a similar opportunity with the Warriors. On top of that, the Warriors could add either a 3-and-D wing or another center from late in the first round. With Dennis Schroeder and a role player from the first round, the Warriors would address their lack of depth, a backup point guard, and bench scoring all in one. This would give the Warriors All-Stars an opportunity to sit and rest without having to worry too much about whether or not the second unit can compete. Adding these two pieces would give them a step up in the contender race while giving good value in return to the Thunder. The last and probably the biggest trade the Warriors could complete would be to send Wiggins and both their 2020 and 2021 first round pick for Nikola Vucevic and Evan Fournier. For the Warriors, they would acquire an all-star caliber center in Vucevic while also adding a proven scorer to their bench in Evan Fournier. For the Magic, it is obvious they're stuck in mediocrity, sitting near the 8th seed over the past 2 years, and need to make changes within the team to get past being first round exits. And acquiring a top 5 pick in the 2020 draft would be a step in the right direction. Adding a couple of young stars alongside Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, and Mo Bamba would put them right back to where they were and could be the foundation of a future top team in the East. This move has the potential to shift the landscape of the NBA, as the Warriors will be back to almost having an unfair starting lineup with 4 potential All-Stars. If the Warriors want to get back to their dynasty ways, this move would be the one for them to definitely look at, as they would be favored to win the championship right away. Just imagine a stretch 5 and capable defender being added to Steve Kerr's hybrid triangle offense. The opportunities created on offense would almost be limitless. If the Warriors are going in win now mode, this trade would help them achieve their goal, and they wouldn't be completely compromising their future. These 3 trades all give the Warriors 1 or 2 extra pieces that could prove crucial in a title race. With the West even more stacked with the Lakers and Clippers, the Warriors would need all the help they can get if they want to make the finals once again. I have no doubt the Warriors are a top 3 team next year, but they don't want to try to force their way into the championship at the expense of compromising their future, and with these 3 trades, that can happen. But if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to my take on the Warriors' future, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on these 3 trades and which one you like the most and why down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want more NBA related videos, to subscribe. I plan on creating more content weekly, and with your support, it would only make it easier. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one.